Kendrick took multiple shots at the Hotline Bling rapper during his halftime performance.
I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love the suit. Yeah, that song. You ever watch your enemy down with a poker face?
This guy's off his rocker.
Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
We're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile. Don't worry, I'm lawyered up. Anyway.
Cause if I die, it's these niggas that become the sole beneficiary. And what the fuck are they gonna do with it? Had the girls up at 29 on stage twerking with a dictionary.
And then Serena Williams crip-walked to Not Like Us, and the whole crowd screamed A minor at the top of their lungs.
Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
Yo, yes. Go.
And at the very end, Kendrick did this.
Turn this TV off, turn this.
He will make your hometown not like you. The next time Drake sits courtside at a Raptors game, they're gonna Forrest Gump him. Sight's taken.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Hip-hop has always been built on competition. Iron sharpens iron, and rivalries fuel the culture. But in the last decade, no two artists have defined the game quite like Drake and Kendrick Lamar. One is a chart-dominating superstar with anthems for every mood. The other, a Pulitzer Prize-winning lyricist whose words cut deeper than most rappers' entire discographies. On the surface, they've always shown respect, but behind the scenes, this is a cold war. Subliminal disses, industry politics, and a decade-long tension that most people never even noticed. It's not just about rap, it's about legacy, and to understand why this rivalry runs so deep, we have to go back to where it all started. Well, let's talk about the origins of the Kendrick and Drake rivalry. Most rap beefs are loud, diss tracks, Twitter rants, public callouts, Eminem versus MGK, but this one, it's been a silent chess match played in the shadows. This story begins way back in 2011, almost 15 years ago. Drake was evolving from polarizing rookie to full-fledged superstar with his album Take Care. Among his guests was a highly touted newcomer from Compton, Kendrick Lamar, who appeared on the Buried Alive interlude. Kendrick's ego was elevated by Drake's cosign as he rapped, so blame it on Mr. OVOXO, the reason why I'm breathing all the vanity I know. The respect seemed mutual. Drake even invited Kendrick to open on his Club Paradise tour in 2012, later rapping about the decision on 4 p.m. in Calabasas. When they told me to take an R&B bleep on the road, and I told them no and drew for Kendrick and Rocky. They appeared together on A$AP Rocky's Fucking Problems and collaborated on Kendrick's Poetic Justice from his major label debut Good Kid, Mad City. Unfortunately, that would make their final collaboration. The turning point came in August 2013. After solidifying himself as a household name, Kendrick's confidence was at an all-time high. On Big Sean's track Control, he called out a list of peers. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you, bleep. Trying to make sure core fans never heard of you, bleep. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you, bleep. Drake responded in a Billboard interview saying, I didn't really have anything to say about it. It just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. That's all it was. I know good and well that Lamar's not murdering me at all in any platform. The tension escalated when Kendrick took aim at Drake during the BET Hip Hop Awards cypher over the Shook Ones instrumental. He rapped, "Nothing's been the same since they dropped Control," and tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Haha, joke's on you. High five, I'm bulletproof. Your shoots never penetrates. Pin the tail on the donkey, boy you been a fake. Now this brings us up to about 2015. Well, from 2015 to 2016, the subliminal shots continued. Kendrick targeted Drake on King Kunta, referencing the ghostwriting allegations. I can dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghostwriter? What the fuck happened? Drake countered on the Game's 100, I would have all of your fans if I didn't go pop and I stayed on the conscious. Kendrick's attacks continued to Dr. Dre's Compton album with lines like, they liable to bury him, they nominated 6 to carry him, they worry him to death, but he's no vegetarian. The beef is on his breath, inheriting the drama better than a great white bleep, this is life in my aquarium. For years, the tension simmered beneath the surface. surface. Neither artist directly calling out the other by name, but the shots were undeniable to anyone paying attention. The conflict remained largely dormant until October 2023, when Drake and J. Cole linked up on First Person Shooter, scoring their first Hot 100 #1 together. Cole unknowingly reignited the feud when he rapped, "Love when they argue about the hardest MC, is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey, or me? We, the big three, like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali." But this would be no story if we didn't talk about the industry politics behind it. Rap beefs aren't just about talent, they're about power. And when it comes to Drake versus Kendrick, the battle extends far beyond the music. It's about influence, industry politics, and the two camps that have shaped their careers from the very beginning. Like Degrassi. Like the good old Canadian cast of Degrassi. On one side, you have TDE, the West Coast powerhouse built from the ground up, led by Top Dog. This was a label that prided itself on lyricism, artistic integrity, and keeping things in-house. Kendrick wasn't just their biggest star, he was their golden child. And on the other side, there's OVO Sound, Drake's own empire. Unlike TDE, OVO wasn't about lyrical supremacy, it was about cultural dominance. With connections to major labels, streaming services, and pop music, Drake played the industry game like a business. And that's where the tension gets interesting, because in hip-hop, power matters. Drake has always been seen as the industry favorite, as an industry darling, the artist whose music gets the biggest push, and the one who's the most commercial, the one who thrives in the streaming era. But Kendrick, he's the underdog that refuses to play by the industry's rules, and in a way that only adds fuel to their rivalry. This isn't just about music, it's about who truly runs the game. TDE versus OVO. Independent grind versus major label backing. And as these two giants continue to operate in the same space, one question remains. Because at some point, business became personal, and that's when things really got interesting. Well, for years, Drake and Kendrick kept things subtle. We're talking sneak disses, industry politics, silent competition. But at a certain point, the tension stopped being just about rap, it got personal. In 2017 was a defining year for both artists. Kendrick dropped Damn, a brutally introspective album that solidified his status as a generational talent. Meanwhile, Drake released More Life, a playlist filled with massive hits but noticeably lacking any Kendrick feature. This wasn't just a coincidence. For years, Kendrick had been avoiding collaborations with Drake. Even when he worked with Drake's closest allies like Travis Scott on Goosebumps or Future on Mask Off, Kendrick made sure to keep his distance. In an interview that year, Kendrick was asked about certain rappers who manipulate the industry for their own gain. His response, "I can't fake it." He didn't say names, but the message was clear. Drake took his own shots. On Survival, he seemingly dismissed Kendrick as someone who talks about the industry instead of running it. The tension was no longer hidden, it was real, and it was wide out in the open. And if there was ever any doubt that their battle extended beyond music, just look at how the industry has treated them. One is showered with awards, praised for pushing the art form forward, and the other is pushed to the side even when he's breaking records. But when did the war go truly public? Well, that basically just happened last year. The moment that changed everything. Well, on March 22nd, 2024, Kendrick went full-on attack mode on Future and Metro Boomin's Like That. He fired shots at both Cole and Drake. Fuck sneak dissin', first-person shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches. Denouncing the Big Three concept, he declared, "Motherfuck the Big Three, bleep, it's just Big Me." Drake responded during his tour, "I got my fucking head up high, my back straight, I'm 10 fucking toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go, and I know that no matter what, there's not a bleep on this earth that could ever fuck with me in my life." In April 2024, Drake released Push-Ups, mocking Kendrick's small stature and his deal with Top Dog Entertainment. He followed up with Tailor-Made Freestyle, using AI to imitate Tupac and Snoop Dogg's voices, a move that resulted in legal threats from Tupac's estate.
And Drake not stopping there. The Canadian rapper doubling down with a second song featuring AI versions of Snoop Dogg and Tupac, two of Lamar's longtime role models.
Kendrick struck back with this 6-minute Euphoria, questioning Drake's authenticity authenticity and his fashion sense.
Lamar then lashing out in a 6-minute-long track, Euphoria, calling himself Drake's biggest hater.
Let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk.
Social media giving artists a way to immediately push out new songs and new disses without having to wait for a record release.
So the ability to drop that track, have it listened to, and have the world kind of respond is something that has not necessarily been the case in hip hop history. I think it's going to bring more people to the genre because you're hearing what is supposedly authenticity, what is supposedly narratives that are true in this very skilled and, I think, different way.
Less than 72 hours later, he dropped 616 in LA, claiming Drake's team was leaking information. Have you ever thought that OVO was working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. Drake responded with Family Matters, making personal allegations about Kendrick's relationship with his fiancée Whitney Alford. Literally minutes later, Kendrick released Meet the Grahams, claiming Drake was hiding another child and had issues with alcohol and gambling. The next day, Kendrick released Not Like Us, accusing Drake and his team of inappropriate behavior. The accompanying artwork showed an aerial view of Drake's mansion with red symbols placed on it. Drake addressed these allegations on The Heart Part 6, claiming he had set up Kendrick by feeding him false information about having a daughter.
A long-standing feud between rap artist Drake and Kendrick Lamar is once again heating up after the release of diss tracks back to back, and we really mean back to back to back to back. In a flurry of activity, the two artists have now put out 8 songs in the past month, but where and when did it start, and what's behind it?
A war of words turning into a full-blown feud between two of the biggest names in rap, Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling.
The two longtime rivals battling it out in a matter of days, releasing 8 new songs one after the other with the intensity heating up over the weekend.
They're really poets. They're really two people who have the ability to see, listen, and then spit back lyrics that are very intriguing for people.
The lyrical blows now including serious allegations. Drake accusing Lamar of domestic violence, and Lamar accusing Drake of relationships with young underage women.
Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
NBC News reached out to both Drake and Lamar for comment, but have not heard back. Drake denying being with minors in a new track this weekend.
Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list.
So let's talk about the aftermath, because this battle had real consequences. In May 2024, Kendrick's Not Like Us topped the Billboard Hot 100. By January 2025, it had surpassed 1 billion Spotify streams. In June 2024, Kendrick performed Not Like Us 5 times at his pop-out concert at the Kia Forum, bringing out various LA luminaries in a show of West Coast unity.
The musical brawl, believed to date back to more than a decade ago when the two first collaborated with each other, then turned against each other. The controversy also including other big names in the industry. Megan Thee Stallion's song Hiss fueling speculation she dissed both Drake and Nicki Minaj. Drake even pulling pop darling Taylor Swift into the conversation, mocking Lamar's past collaborations with her.
Then we need a verse for the Swifties.
The industry took sides. In September 2024, Kendrick was named the 2025 Super Bowl halftime performer, drawing criticism from Drake's Young Money teammate Nicki Minaj, who felt Lil Wayne deserved the spot in his hometown. By November 2024, Kendrick released his album GNX, making it clear he wasn't interested in making peace. I never pieced it up, that shit don't sit well with me, before I take a truth, I'll take him to hell with me. Drake struck back with legal action, filing motions against Universal Music Group in November 2024, accusing them of using bots to inflate streams for Not Like Us. In January 2025, he filed a defamation lawsuit against UMG over the song's content. The industry recognition continued flowing to Kendrick. The tables were finally turning. In February 2025, he won 5 Grammy Awards for Not Like Us, including Record of the Year and Song of the Year. On February 9th, 2025, Kendrick performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, delivering Not Like Us with a smile, teasing, "Say Drake, I heard you like I'm young." He even brought out Serena Williams, whom Drake reportedly dated, to crip walk during the performance. By February 14th, 2025, only 5 days later, Drake responded on his collaborative album with Party Next Door, "Some Sexy Songs for You." On Gimme a Hug, he fired at Kendrick, "'Cause if I die, it's these blank that become the sole beneficiary." What the fuck are they gonna do with it? Have the girls up at 29 on stage twerking with a dictionary?
Drake isn't backing down after Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance. After the Not Like Us rapper dissed the Canadian rapper at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, Drake shares at his latest concert in Melbourne, Australia, that he's standing on business. During the show, he changes the lyrics in his song, Knife Talk, from, quote, beef is alive, spoiler alert, this dies, to, quote, beef is alive, spoiler alert, I never died. Outside of this message, Drake appears to not be fazed by his rival's diss, as he was busy performing in front of his own fans over the weekend. The recent lyric change comes after Kendrick took multiple shots at the Hotline Bling rapper during his halftime performance. For starters, his concert ensemble included a diamond-encrusted A necklace, a choice fans interpreted as a nod to his, quote, A minor lyric in his hit song Not Like Us.
Certified, lover boy, certified. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Not only that, but the Money Tree singer brought out Serena Williams, who reportedly dated Drake in 2015, as a surprise guest.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
What?
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
But who's really winning? Well, for over a decade, Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been on a collision course, two of the biggest artists of their generation, moving in completely different ways, but always orbiting the same space, you could say. Drake is the ultimate hitmaker. He's dominated the charts, broken streaming records, and stayed relevant longer than almost any other rapper. If success is measured in numbers, he's already won. But Kendrick, he never cared about winning in a traditional sense. He's built his legacy through cultural impact, storytelling, and, of course, his artistry. While Drake plays the long game, Kendrick moves in silence, dropping albums that changed the landscape of hip-hop and disappearing until the world needs him again. So who's really winning? Well, that depends on what winning means to you. Drake has the biggest reach. Kendrick has the deepest impact. One is the face of mainstream hip-hop, the other is its most respected voice. And at the end of the day, this rivalry isn't about who's better, it's about what they represent. Two entirely different paths, two different legacies, and one ongoing question. Who will be remembered as the greatest? Because whether or not they ever make peace, the battle for hip-hop's throne is far from over.
And if I've learned anything this year, it's that none of us, not a single one of us, not even me, should ever pick a fight with Kendrick Lamar.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.